Hey there everybody and welcome to my new Arknights YouTube video. This is going straight to YouTube, so it's not being streamed first. I hope that this is going to be enjoyable. This is going to be a sponsored video, and the video is going to be sponsored by Superbuy. So more on them later. And I just want to show all this awesome Arknights merchandise. That's why I'm making the video. And I want to show all of it today. This is just a small part of the collection, and I want to talk about Japanese Arknights merchandise, Chinese Arknights merchandise, English Arknights merchandise, where to get it, especially the Chinese stuff. That's the hard stuff to get. Most of what you see here on my desk is Chinese merchandise. So if you are interested at all in purchasing any of these types of items, stay tuned for the sponsored segment. But if you just want to live vicariously through other people, then wonderful. I'm happy to show some stuff, show off some cool merchandise that we have for this wonderful game that we all play. So let's begin. I'm going to move the keyboard out of the way. And here is a bunch of merchandise. So where did we get everything? So what I'll try and do is I'll try and mention where everything came from. This would make it more helpful if you are interested in purchasing any of this stuff, as well as some of my thoughts on the different sources for official Arknights merchandise, that is. And one of the most popular requests that I get are about the beans, so I'll talk about them after. Start off simple with some stickers. These come from the official Arknights Chinese store. And you have a bunch of really cute stickers, high quality stickers. They take a really long time to ship for whatever reason. I'm still waiting on my Dragon Bean stickers. These came with some art books, really cool lenticulars, and of course for my best girl Saga. So we have a few of them in here. I think I got 4 of them. This came with the most recent art book. I have 4 male knights. A Saga keychain. I'm really not sure what this is supposed to be, but I saw Saga on it, so I purchased it. And yeah. This is a Frost Nova keychain, and this came with the Frost Nova Nendroid, which you see there. I don't actually remember where I purchased the Nendroid for whatever it is. By the way, this came from the official Chinese Taobao, Tmall. This is the Frost Nova keychain. It came with the Nendroid. So the Nendroid is produced by Good Smile, meaning that you can purchase or you can obtain the Nendroid. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Arknights Nendroids here, and since these are produced by Good Smile, you have the opportunity of purchasing them in Japan. There's exporters that will bring them into the North American market. I'm sure European is the same, and you can also purchase them through the Arknights official store in China, so the Tmall store, and there's other distributors on the Tmall site as well, and I find the prices are extremely competitive. So I did get the W and the Exu from China, the Saga and the Frost Nova I believe I purchased from Japan, and this came with the Frost Nova. I don't actually think I got anything for the Saga, even though I pre-ordered it a long time ago. This was sent in my 3rd anniversary English book, actually. So this was a neat little add-on that they threw in. You might recognize this from the official Discord if you have joined the Arknights Yostar English official Discord. This is one of the stickers that are on there. Really fun little neat item. Now we go to one of my favorite sets. For Arknights merchandise, they love creating these little minifigures. They're really easy to display, so I'll put them all up front here that I have out. I have more somewhere, don't ask. So here we have the little HR bag figures. So obviously I bought a whole set for Saga to ensure that I would get Saga. So we have these cute little figures. We have the beach figures. So that's Exact Surtur, W, Nian, Spicy Dragon, we have Dusk, and we have a castle with the wheels that spin. So yes, this was all one set. I believe they made a second set, or this is the second set, and I didn't buy the first set, something like that. And then we go, they also have a Kotatsu series, so I actually have that on order right now. It's waiting for me on Superbuy, with Superbuy, to ship to myself in Canada, so maybe look out for an unboxing video or watch the stream where I'll probably be opening it on stream, along with some other merchandise that I'll talk about later. Because I have a lot of merchandise incoming, and I'm really excited to share it with everybody. Usually I do that on the stream. We have the next step up, which are these, I would guess, medium, I don't know what you would want to call them, medium-sized figures. So these are slightly larger. And I have, and they usually come in sets of 3. So I have 2 of the sets with me today, and I have 2 other sets on order. I think there's been 5 sets total of these, like, slightly larger figures. The new figures come with backgrounds, actually, so they have their own little stand with a background and everything. And what they did is they went they went back and produced backgrounds for the original ones. So I also have that on order, because obviously I can't leave Saga without her stand. So right now I have got the Nian Saga Ling out. On order for myself, I have the Silence, Lukoa, and Mumugang. I also have the Virtuosa, Lito, and Vivian set as well. All of that is incoming, so stay tuned for that. These are some of my favorite items. So these are the little mini beans, and they are, for, I mean, to me, for the price, very well made. I left mine out on the desk, and they're a little bit dusty. And the funniest part, I don't know, I don't really know if I'd use this as a keychain. It does come with this. I was really tempted to take it out, but they run. They run. And these were something like $5 each. It was so, I mean, to me, it's so cheap, because I'm sorry, Yostar, if you're watching this video. I have a big problem with the shipping prices on the English store. I know they're doing the best they can. I know they've talked about trying to use different services to bring the price down. Like, I ordered the new Nami set, the 6 little minifigure set. I'm assuming they're about this size, or maybe the size of Dusk, like the medium-sized minifigures here. I'm assuming there's something in that range where it's somewhere in that size range, and it was $48 just for the shipping. So we're talking, it was 100 and I think I paid like 180 Canadian dollars, and that was just one item. So one box of items, 6 figures come in that box, and something like $180. You could get these little mini beans. Dusk is not very happy. You can get these little mini beans. These were about $5 each, and then you would pay somewhere in the range of $20 for shipping. You'd be in for $40. So the difficult part for me with the Yostar EN store is that they don't release as much merchandise as often, and like I said, I know they're doing the best they can. The nice part is we do actually get a variety of merchandise that you don't see in the other stores, so they are creating merchandise just for our market, our global English market, which is a nice touch. And I do have some of that merchandise around that I'll talk about, the cup being one, the mug. So, but I do find the shipping is very high, and I don't often have multiple items I want to purchase, so I can't even split shipping. It becomes quite costly, and that's why I'm doing this video, because I do get a lot of questions about how do I purchase from the Chinese store, how do I get the links to it, all of these things. I get all of these questions, so we're going to talk about all of these things today, especially in the sponsored segment. It'll be in the description, all the links that you need, my Discord link, I've got a whole guide there written up and everything, so do check those out. I really enjoy these little mini beans. They are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful items to have around, and because of their size, they fit really nicely on a desk. Alright, so next we have the mug, and this is a really fun item that was around for, I believe, 1.5 anniversary. So this was released in 2021. I was going to say 2011 for some reason. and I even have the box somewhere. And this was for the 1.5 anniversary, and as you can see, we have the little chibi characters printed on. So we've got Saga, Mr. Nothing, Dusk, and Lava. And I do actually use this. I did used to use the coaster, and as you can see, the unfortunate part about this coaster is that it's plastic, and the whole point was that it was supposed to be heat changing, so you put your hot tea on it, or coffee, or whatever it is you want to drink, and then it would change color to be white to match the fun little mechanic of this event that I'm sure you have fond memories of. So yeah, I stopped using the coaster because I wanted to keep it in, well, at least not make it worse condition. It was a little unfortunate that this was plastic, and it seems like the coating, as it went through heat cycles, it started warping a little bit, as you can see there. So I decided to just stop using the coaster and just keep using the mug. The mug is fine. So we're gonna put this away. And yeah, so that comes from I purchased that through the Arknights English store. And that is one of my favorite purchases. I've used it pretty much daily to drink tea. But I no longer use the coaster. I've talked about the Nendroids. I don't have the boxes out. Nendroids are a slightly premium display minifigure. They're posable, so the arms, legs, hands, everything. You even get different options for the face, for what they're holding. So like Saga, I've got her weapon. There's different faces she can make. I have different hands, so if you want her praying, things like that. So there's a whole bunch of different options. So I have Saga, you know, doing her thing. Same for all the others that I have. And they're generally purchasable worldwide. You have lots of different stores that will carry them. I don't believe Yostar English store themselves will carry it, but there are different merchants that carry Good Smile merchandise in general, and those types of stores will be the types that will have it. I believe Crunchyroll even, and they ship worldwide. Good Smile global site will ship worldwide. You have Good Smile Japan. You've got different stores, like I mentioned. There's a Tmall store, so I ordered the Exu NBW on the Tmall store, and had it shipped, and just got it shipped with some of my other merchandise as well. So that was nice and easy for me, using that process, and cost effective. So there you go. Nendroids are, I would say, slightly higher. The average is around $50 each, so not that cheap. So I don't know if I mentioned it. These are in the range of I think it's around $30 to $40 for a set of 6 of these little really mini figures. So right now on order, I have the Kotatsu set on order. And it was 348 Chinese yuan. The slightly larger trio comes out to about 390 Chinese yuan for 3. One of the things that I should mention, because I forgot already, you can buy these individually, but they come in a blind box. So if you bought just one of these, you would pay 1/6 the price, but you don't get to choose which one you get either. Also, when you buy a set of 6, it comes with a little card gift somewhere. So definitely consider that. And let's move these out of the way, because I've got more stuff to bring out and talk about. So I'll move these back. Now the beans, the big beans, these are a favorite of mine. I love my Saga bean. I love all my beans. These are some of the most enjoyable merchandise I've purchased at all for Arknights. These only come from the Chinese Tmall store. I've got a bunch of them, so I'll bring a few more out. And they are extremely high quality. I don't have enough space to really show. got beans everywhere. So we've got Saga Bean, Ling Bean, Nian Bean, Dusk Bean. So there's really lots of beans. Chungus Bean just came out for pre-order. So if you are interested in picking up some beans, you have to do this through the Chinese Tmall store. So I've got Nian Bean. And these are really high quality. I was actually shocked at how good these were, the quality of these were. They were about $15 each Canadian. They each have their own little details based on their character art. So Nian has a little piece there. They have a cute little tag. I actually bought 2 Saga Beans, and I don't know where I put the second Saga Bean. We have Dusk. Instead of it being pinned, it's tied around with a little rope. And the overall, I find that the make quality of these is very, very nice, especially for the price. Obviously, they are slightly bulkier items, but overall, I think it was extremely worth it. These are some of my favorite Arknights merchandise. And you can order, I think right now, the Saga, the Ling, and the Chungus are available for order. They do restock from time to time, so those are the types of notifications I drop in the Discord when the beans come back in stock, because it is by far the most requested item that I get. So I help people with getting links for everything for Superbuy and everything. So this is actually wood little beads. And as opposed to the other beans, Saga's feet are nice and fluffy, and they have different, I don't want to call it fur, but different materials, textures as well. So they really did a good job with the beans, especially for the price. And I'll finish it off with the Ling Bean. This one's really cool too. There's a real gourd that they use rope to sew on. So we have a drunk Ling Bean. And overall, yes, I think they did an amazing job with these beans. I'm glad that they're actually restocking them. Let more people get in, because early on, they were so popular that there were many scalpers for the beans. The original trio, Saga, Dusk, and Nian, and especially Nian, tons and tons and tons of scalpers for it. So there's the Ling Bean. There's actually another Dusk Bean that I haven't received yet. So there was a Dusk Bean that was made for Ambient Synthesia. So I do have that on order. It is on the way, but I don't have it with me. And then we have this. I think this was supposed to be a neck pillow Nian. There was a meme about Nian being really stretchy, and in Hypergriffs or whoever on the marketing team, product design team, I don't know, whoever decided to make it into a product, bravo, amazing job. So we have our stretchy Nian. I don't think I've ever seen this restocked, unfortunately, but this is a fun item to own. The neck size is a little small, so it doesn't actually fit me. I cannot use this as a neck pillow. It's way too small. The texture and color is slightly different, actually, from the original Nian Bean. But anyway, stretchy Nian. And then the reason I want to... one more plush from the official store. This is again from the official Tmall store. We have a Moo Moo Gang plush, and it's actually reversible into a tea kettle. I won't do it now, but you can reverse this into a tea kettle, or if you can keep it in the Moo Moo Gang. I have left it in the Moo Moo Gang format. It was quite wrinkled, as you can probably tell from the material, from the whole reversible process. I'm not sure I'm going to bother doing it again because it'll wrinkle even more. But yes, so we have a beanie here, and it is reversible into a water kettle. And that's always really fun. This was, I don't remember the price of this one. I think it was a little bit more. I could even check. I think it was just a tiny bit more. Actually, I think it was the same price. Yeah, it was the same price as the others. So this was This was around $15 as well. Yeah, $15. Now, I'll talk about the Yostar English store. I think this is the only plush that I've actually purchased from the Yostar English store. I'll show it now. And I'll talk about, this is where Yostar might not exactly like this video. I'll talk a little bit about why I actually enjoy the beans more than the Yostar English store plushies. So if you want a plushie, that is. They are a little bit bulky. Sorry, this is a little bit dusty because I haven't taken this out in a while. So this is the Bitey plush. So I bought it at the same time as the mug and coaster. And this was somewhere in the region of 30 bucks, 30, 40 bucks plus shipping, which was very expensive. Like I said, shipping from the Yostar English store is quite a bit more expensive. And then here are my gripes with it. You still get a nice little tag, but you can see that this is like I don't even know what kind of printing this is called, but this is plastic. So this is a plastic that's either heat wrapped on, I don't know exactly the process, and you can see that it starts crinkling or creasing, and I can't really straighten it out. So this was one of the unfortunate items with this piece. Overall, I felt that the materials used were not amazing. The other thing is with the face and head, they used a different type of cushioning here, and I can't get it as even as I'd like. This is also some felt item, and when I was looking at the others, because I wanted to purchase the Exu in a pancake as well, or Exu in a pie. I think there's Chaobi in a pancake, Exu in a pie. There's the Ling Dusk Nian Sui plushies. There's a few other plushies as well that they've put out. I find that they use a lot of this felt, and I don't know. I definitely enjoy that. I definitely enjoy the style of craftsmanship that they're putting on the Chinese plushies, the Chinese store plushies, versus the English store plushies. Not that I don't enjoy having the Bitey. And like I said, it's unique. It's not something that was produced or sold on the Chinese store, to my knowledge anyway. So it is a unique item, and it really depends on what you are going for and what you want, on what is the better value or the better item for you, for your collection. But I have to say that I enjoy the beans far more than I enjoy the Bitey in terms of the build, the make quality and everything. And the beans were significantly cheaper as well, even when including the shipping. It was significantly cheaper for the beans than the Bitey. So that's the unfortunate part. I do have a few other things to show, and then actually we're gonna have a fun little thing to do after. So I probably should have put this out when I was doing the video. This is a mouse pad, desk mat, whatever. This was for the Prelude to Dawn, when the first season finished airing. They put this up. I believe it was available in Japan on the Japanese official site store, as well as the Chinese store. I bought it from the Chinese store. I don't order that much from the Japanese store. Actually, I don't order at all, because everything always goes out of stock constantly. As unfortunate as it is, there's this other cool item that came out in the last half year, obviously. And this covers every single CC medal that there's ever been. This is a lot of fun. Nice little display box, so once you can take it out of this, you can put this up somewhere. The unfortunate thing is I bought this from the Chinese store, so they only had it on the Chinese store. And you can see that there's a lot of scuffing on the plastic. There's a lot of scuffing on the plastic display part, but at least there is a display part, so I could, put this somewhere. All the pins were in the wrong place, so I imagine it was a return, and then they put it back up and sold it as brand new, apparently. If this is how it comes new, well, yeah. Well, I mean, it should come like this. It did not come like this. This came from the Chinese store. And then I have this set. I've never opened this. This is the So this is what you would get if you bought a triple of the medium figures. And here you go. I haven't even taken these out of the box. You have your Ling. You have your Lee. And you have your Ak. I won't unbox them now, but you do have them all here. And this is how they would come. So this kind of box, like I said, this would be somewhere in the $40 range, plus shipping, if you're interested in something like this. One really important note is that not all products get restocked. Very important note. So it tends to be that you pre-order the product, they produce based on the number of pre-orders, and they might have a few extras when it finally comes in, and that's what they end up shipping out. So we still have more and more stuff to cover. We have the vinyls. This is something that's been making a resurgence. Hopefully the reflection of my screen is not bugging you. This is something that's been making a resurgence. I've seen this with other video games as well. Just in the last couple of weeks, Neon White put up vinyls for their OST. Armored Core put up vinyls for their OST. So this is the CC1 vinyl. This came from the Chinese store, as far as I understand. They did not put it anywhere else. It was not available anywhere else. This was directly from the Chinese store. They have put out other, and I did play this on stream. I did show a recording of it playing. They did put out some other vinyls as well. So they did put out, I believe, CC 0, 1, and 2. So I only bought CC 1 because that's my favorite CC song, if anyone asks. Some Lungmen Dragons trivia. Then there you go. That's my favorite CC song. CC 12 is right up there as well, and I do enjoy most of them. But there you go. So this came out. I purchased it. This was quite expensive. For the CC 0, 1, and 2 vinyls only come with one song on them, and they are upwards of, I want to say off the top of my head, $25, $30 per vinyl. Now this is not terribly uncommon for vinyls. When you look at it, all these new collector's edition vinyls for games, they're all coming out at around 20 USD per vinyl plus shipping, which is around what this cost. The thing is, they usually put a few more songs on the vinyl, and I was a bit disappointed because I believe they definitely could have put CC 0, 1, and 2 on the same vinyl, and maybe, put $2 more, $3 more on the price, and, you know, I can buy one vinyl and get all 3 songs, but no, that's not the case here. I got one. They did do one for Manifesto, as well as some of the other ambient synthesia songs, but as far as I've seen, they have not put out a new vinyl in quite some time now. So I'm not sure what's happening on that, if they decided it's not popular enough, we're not getting enough orders on these to not bother anymore. It was quite unfortunate because on the Monster Siren site, and bless Hypergriff for this, they have their entire, or just about their entire OST public. The official soundtrack is public for Arknights, including all events. Most of the anime music is there. There's a few songs that are not available, like the Steve Aoki songs are not up there on the site, but for the most part, everything is there. The unfortunate part is the early music that they put up is in not very good quality. So it was really nice to get the vinyl of the CC1 Pyrite, because this is not put up in online in good quality in any form, on any site, in any place. You cannot get a good quality of the song. So it was really nice to listen to the vinyl for this and get a full experience for the song. But like I said, I'm not sure if they're going to continue making these types of vinyls or not. I'm really unsure of how that's going to go, because I believe there's still stock from the 2021 or 2022 vinyls that they originally put out. So there's still some stock of those, and it's quite weird that they stopped at CC2 and then they just didn't bother making any of the rest, because CC3 has long come and gone. And I mean, we finished CC12. English is in pinch out right now as I'm doing this video. We're in the middle of pinch out. So it's quite weird to me that there's no other vinyls. I mean, if they planned more vinyls, obviously at this point I believe that they're not going to bother. So it's kind of a cool piece that we're not going to see again. And I thought it was a bit expensive. Here we've got Saga. Like I said, I buy everything Saga. That's a default rule. I buy everything that's Saga branded. And we have a Saga. This is supposed to be a placemat with some chopsticks and a little chopstick holder. As you can see, it was damaged in shipping. The Superbuy did not do a great job with this one, and they did recognize that fact. They did reimburse me part of the cost too, and so this is fun. This came in the same set as this, as well as this, which I'm using to hold a bunch of little things. Snack Time Saga, and this came as a three-piece set, or a series, so you could get either the Nyan, the Dusk, or the Saga. So I got the Saga, obviously. What else would I get? Alright, we're still going through what was just on the desk. Okay, we've got these scale models. So this is the Castle and Lancet scale models, the beach models. And these were... I don't remember who produced them, actually. They were available through multiple different vendors and sites. These are scale models. Fully functional wheels and everything. I purchased them through the Chinese store. They restocked on the Chinese store, or I mean, they fully released, and I was able to purchase them. So I'm quite happy to have them. They are extremely nice. If you've seen any of my other YouTube videos, I do enjoy my robots quite a bit. That's why I have the beach set with the the beach castle. There's a beach Thermex coming out, which I believe I have on pre-order. Anyway, I have so many items on pre-order right now that it's very difficult. Anyway, there we go. We have the Lancet, and they do come with these scuff marks. They do come with these scuff marks, and if you look around, I've taken close-up shots of these. These types of, the marks are manufactured. So I've taken close-up of these. I've put them on Reddit. I deleted it because Spez sucks. So yeah, these were available through multiple different sites. I believe these are some of the only items that were available, along with the art books, that were available on the Chinese, English, and Japanese sites and stores, the official stores, as well as some other merchants. And yeah, the unfortunate part, and I don't know if Yostar ever responded about this or did anything, or if customer service had a policy on it or not. Apparently, the ones that went through Yostar did not do so well, and many of them came in damaged. So like this piece, this piece from the Lancet is quite fragile. I imagine just a little bit of force and this is going to pop out. And that, for a lot of people, was broken off. As you can imagine, some of these parts, especially on the Lancet, would be quite fragile and easy to break off. And so people were mentioning that, especially from the Yostar store, a lot of these pieces were broken off, which is incredibly unfortunate. These cost in the range of, I think, 70 USD each. So it is quite unfortunate to get some of these, to me, beautiful items, really well-made items, and it comes in damaged. So that's quite unfortunate. Hopefully they corrected it and sent them off proper, corrected, undamaged pieces. Actually, I'll just move the Lancet there too. There we go. And then we have a Saga Shikishi. So this is very popular in Asian markets. I'm not exactly sure why it just started becoming something that they just printed like this. You might see translations like colored paper, shikishi, autograph paper, things like that. It's like this thick board. And I believe it was more popular in I believe. Somebody is probably going to write, glitch, that's not why. Anyway, I'd be curious to understand the background of these anyway. So it was meant for autographs. My understanding is that it was originally meant for autographs. It's this nice board. It keeps well, and you would just have it printed in white or something, whatever logo of the whatever band or whatever, and they would just sign it, and it would keep really well. So it's a nice board. And then I started seeing, like, Pokemon did it. Arknights does it for a lot of their new characters and skins and things like that. You have these just, they use the same board in manufacturing, but they actually just print an image on it. And here you go. So this is the only one I have for Arknights. And this is a nice holographic foil Shikishi of the Saga skin. So we should be getting this soon in the global region. I can't wait. Saga is finally getting a skin. She was the oldest 6-star without a skin, and we are finally getting one for her. And we get 7 Sagas at the same time. People are calling it the 7 Deadly Sagas or something like that. I've got these 2 cards that came with the first, second, and third anniversary books with the English market. So the Shikishi, as far as I know, only sold on the Chinese store. And these came with the first, the second and third anniversary books for the English market, and this is a reminder to keep a lookout, because probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks they're going to put up the 4th anniversary book for the Yostar EN 4th anniversary book. So if you are interested in these, they do tend to sell out quite fast, so get your order in. This is your warning. If you're watching this video, this is your warning. They do come with these nice little cards. So we have Magako with a Wishlash for the 2nd anniversary, and then Nami, a favorite, for the 3rd anniversary. It's amazing what Nami's doing with Yostar, helping promote Arknights and creating merchandise and things like that. So that's a wonderful thing. This also came with the 3rd anniversary book. And the cool part is, so I'll talk about the different art books that I've purchased, because I've got a lot of them. You may have seen videos on them, because I did cover and go through every single page of every single art book that has existed for Arknights. I did not cover the manga, though I did order the English version of the manga. I did not order the Volume 2 art book that is on pre-order, and nor did I pre-order the World Lore book. The World Lore book is quite difficult because it is mostly text and fully in Chinese. So there are some people that are interested in getting that professionally translated. If you want to support that project, join the Discord and post in the AK merch discussion, because the person that is thinking of getting that done does spend a lot of time there. And if you want to support that project, let us know, because I'm willing to put some money towards it and have that as a resource for the community, because it seems like a really cool book. And if they, we don't know if they're going to professionally translate it, if Yostar will do it, but if not, then at least we have it as a community to do it. So this came with the 3rd anniversary book. That was a bit of a sidetrack, wasn't it? This came with the 3rd anniversary book. You could actually change out the picture. So these are 2 picture frames attached side by side, and they gave you a series of 6 pictures that you could put in yourself. So this was nice and cool. And I think we finally covered what's on the desk. Okay, so I think that's done the rounds for the actual pieces of merchandise that I have. I can't think of anything that I haven't. Oh wait, one thing that I really should show. I don't move this very much. It's a little dusty, as you can see. This is the Nian Unfettered Freedom, I believe it's called, the 1/7 scale figure. If I could get this piece in, that'd be great. Anyway. There it is. And then this goes, I forget how this was supposed to go. It was something like this. I have the instructions in the box somewhere, but you get the point. this sword now before I break something. So yeah, this is the Nian Unfettered Freedom. A little bit dusty. I didn't notice how dusty it was. This is a wonderful 1/7 figure. Again, I believe this was produced by Good Smile, and they did release it on their global store worldwide, so it was quite available. If you were interested in something like this, Arknights comes out with a lot of figures, a lot of 1/7 figures, 1/8 figures, scale models, and they are available on the Chinese store and through whoever is making them. So they tend to be available worldwide through different means. Otherwise, like I said, it's quite cost effective to get it directly from the official Arknights Chinese store and just have it shipped wherever you want to. And that is what I did with this one. So this is the Nian, and it is a really, really cool figure. It is the only scale model that I own, only real one anyway, because I've been duped in the past and I stopped buying them. But there you go, there's the Nian. And that does it for actual merchandise. And now for the art books. So we, between English, Japanese, and Chinese, there's been many art books produced, as I will show. So that is volume 4. We have more here. This was a poster that came with one of them. Some other little items. There was another Shikishi that came with one. I didn't even remember I had that. Bookmark. Stack of bookmarks. Little file folder. These are posters that I think each one came with a poster. So yeah, I won't go through all the posters. I've done that in the different videos that are already up, but just to show on. There we go. So I have a bunch of posters and whatnot, and these are more basic art books that are available. This is the Monster Siren Volume 1. This covers all the arts that were done for the official soundtracks. And then you have, for each year, I believe, they made a new book. So these are volumes 1, 2, 3, 4. Tons and tons and tons of images and everything printed quite well, I would say. So really awesome artwork. There's Yuji, a bunch of other official artists. Pretty sure I saw Nami in the volume 4 and probably earlier as well. It's been a while since I've looked at the others. So there's 5 of these books. Each one costs somewhere in the realm of $12 to $14. So it is quite inexpensive. They're over 100 pages long each, and just absolutely filled with amazing arts, really fun arts to look through and flip through. If you're interested, I do have videos covering every single page of every single one of these books, including all the other books that I'm going to talk about today. So these are available from the Chinese store, and I believe that the English store and Japanese store have started stocking it as well. So I remember seeing the volume 1 and 2, I believe volume 1 and 2 at the Yostar booth at one of the conventions. So I believe they are actually selling some of these. I'm not sure if they will eventually sell all of them, but I'm happy that they're at least bringing some of them out, because they're awesome art books. It was much cheaper for me to go through the Chinese store than to buy them from Yostar EN, so I'm really sorry. This sounds like a hit piece on the Yostar EN store. It's not meant to be that way. For me, I just order so much from the Chinese side that it just makes sense to continue buying everything from the Chinese side. And because I just combine shipping on everything. So I know it sounds like a hit piece. It's not designed to be that way. This is a huge box. I hope it'll show on stream. This is the Volume 1 Reset book. So this is Arknights English. So the Yostar English and Japanese ones are going to be coming out with this. The pre-orders, I think, have already closed. This is where you get the new Amiya skin, the plant or the Gardener Amiya skin. So it was the same in China. This is the Chinese version, by the way, so it's not the English one. It's not some early look at the English one. And it's this huge heavy book. And this is probably the only thing that I saw on the Arknights English store that was actually a significantly good deal because of how heavy this is. Oh my god. It comes in this huge box. It is ridiculously heavy. And comes with a bunch of goodies. And I've gone through all of this on stream before. Let's not rip anything. So it comes with a bunch of goodies. I talked about this. You can go watch the video if you want, like, really the full thing. I'm not going to take everything apart here. Or maybe I will. I'll see how I feel. Layers and layers, like an onion. So this is where, I'm not sure how they're doing this on the English side. This is where there's supposed to be some soil and a flower seed for you to make your own, and then there's the planter, the Amiya code. So I'm assuming the English one will have the same thing, the Japanese one will have the same thing. Normally you're not supposed to be able to ship soil and a flower seed across borders, so I'm wondering if they will just not put the soil and flower seed and just leave the code in. So this inside here, there's going to be a code for the Amiya skin, but unfortunately only works on the Chinese side. So I purchased this before I knew, before there was any announcement that Yostar would be translating it and bringing it to English. Or at least, no. What they sold on the Yostar EN store is actually a Japanese translation of the book. So they translated it to Japanese, and then when they're selling it, if you ordered it through the English store, you're still getting a Japanese copy, but it will have an English code that will work on the English game version. And then you have a bunch of really cool little things, and then the book itself, which is absolutely massive, by the way. Something like 400 pages. It covers every single operator up to and including Nian, as well as I think some enemies, skins, and things like that. It talks about. Like I said, it's quite heavy. It's a thick boy book, hardcover with a very nice sleeve on top, so you can see Amiya with or without, depending on your preferences. And it really shows some awesome, I wouldn't say behind the scenes, because it's not, but you do get some really nice shots of the different characters. They talk about them, what went into designing the character art and everything, and it really goes through every single character up to and including Nian. And so volume 2, I'm assuming, is going to be I don't know who it's going to be up to and including. So Nian was 1.5 anniversary. I'm assuming they're going to go until like year 3 or something. Let's put all this back. So this is the last of the art books that I ordered from the Chinese store. I figured that if Yostar EN is going to at least start bringing them, especially if there's skins involved, because I like having every skin in the game, I figure I'll just start ordering everything from the Yostar EN store. There you go. So that's the last of the Chinese art books. So this was available on the Chinese store for the longest time. I think it still is available for order if you would like the Chinese version. And yes, and it is it was not terribly expensive. I want to say 40 bucks, but the shipping was the killer. It was something like 40-50 bucks for the book, and the shipping was enormous. Shipping that to Canada was not cheap, and that is where, when I looked at the price for the Yostar version on the Yostar store, it was actually cheaper from the shipping that Yostar was offering than it was for me to purchase that book from China. So there are times where the Yostar store does make a lot of sense. And then these are 1st anniversary English. second anniversary English, and third anniversary English. Like I said, these tend to sell out really fast. The first anniversary box set sold out. Oh man, it sold out fast. It really did. Some fun. This was a book. There were less goodies with this one than some of the others, and it's similar to the other books that I showed from China. Just nice print, very nice glossy print. Lots of different arts. These are not arts that you see in the Chinese books. And you get some posters and some other goodies that I never took out. I won't show the coaster because it is amazing, and you should get one yourself. And there you go. Can't tell which goes first. So that's the first anniversary book. This one sold out very, very, very quickly. Then we have the second anniversary book. This one did not sell out quickly. And this is when they started adding more and more little goodies, but the art books were getting slimmer, I would say. So they really started working on making this like a goodies package, a collection package with a bunch of different things in it. You have the vouchers, travel vouchers, sticker set. I obviously did not start taking these out. You have a sticker set. This is really cool. This is one of my favorite things from the English store. From the different animations, you have some of the behind the scenes drawings. That's one of my favorite pieces. Again, art book, nice paper, nice print. And there was more. So like I said, they really started adding more and more goodies to the English boxes, for better or for worse, because I'm not sure if people were that fond of this set. And to the point where I believe that Yostar started selling just the art book itself. So just the anniversary art book, they were selling that alone versus the box, which is what it would usually come in. So that's the unfortunate part. I think they're still trying to hash it out. The third anniversary set I believe, did sell relatively quickly. And I don't remember what's in here. So you have you have a ruler with a posi and gavial, and actually slides, like, you know, take it out. This is where you have the different photos that you can put in the holder, and where the picture frame would come. You have these different little pins. These are quite nice. These are nice and fun. A one sanity doctor looking at some mushrooms. You have an Amia, and these are what do you call them? Films. These are films, so you can actually pull them up to light and see a little picture through them. Which way they're supposed to go. And these are dog tags, and these are metal, so they have some nice heft and weight to them. Not sure I would wear them. I did not take it out really. And there you go. So similar to the rest, you have art books. These are very, very nice print, all the way to the edge. And there you go. So I don't know what the purpose was of creating a Volume 1 and Volume 2 that they put together. For some reason, one has a shiny edge and the other does not. Don't ask me why. And there you go. So I believe this just about covers all the Arknights merch that I own. All the Arknights merchandise that I own. I actually have a second copy of the 3rd anniversary book. Don't ask me why. I do. I just do. So if you're interested in that, let me know on the Discord. So now we come to the fun part. How do you actually get all this stuff? Oh, yes. So, here we go. This is the Yostar Chinese store. I won't open the Japanese or English stores. I think you've probably already seen them. They do tweet about them. The Japanese store has some similar items to the English store. Some things that are just only posted on the Japanese store. Like recently, there was a pillow, a Frost Nova candy pillow. So it was just the candy that she had with a keychain. So that's something that was very unique to the Japanese market. But the English market, or the Chinese market, is where you see all of that English, all that fun stuff that I was talking about, that I was showing. And here you go. So, for example, you have these little minifigures. And the problem that you'll have, that if you try and scroll and browse this store, is that it doesn't like foreigners. Chinese shopping stores do not like foreigners, so if they detect you're outside of China, it's not easy to create an account on these sites. It's not easy to order directly from these sites, and that's where a shopping agent such as Superbuy comes into play quite readily. I was lucky because I created my account on Tmall in a time where it was a bit looser. Oh, sorry, this is Lessing, not Lido. Anyway. So, you have the little mini series that's coming out. You do have some plushes that are still available. So, as I was showing or discussing before, there are some beans that are still available. And as you can see, for some reason it failed the CAPTCHA, but here we go. And Saga Bean is still available, so we have Saga Bean. Here's the Ambient Synthesia set with the different Dusk Bean. So this one is different from what I showed you today. This one I will be getting as well. The unfortunate part about this one is that you have to buy the entire set of 4. So that's quite bulky. It's quite bulky. You can't just buy the Dusk. So that was the annoying part about this. And you have the Moo Moo Gang kettle, and there should be the Chungus one still available as well, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're interested in any of these, oh my god, these CAPTCHAs. So like I said, I was able to make and it logged me out, and I can't log back in. Okay. All right, so I'll stop scrolling through because apparently it doesn't like it. So, but you can see here that some of the art books are still available. You have the 1, 2, 3 Rhodes Island Volume 1. You have the Volume 2 art book. So this is the character art book. The one that I showed today was the Volume 1, which went up to Nian, up to and including Nian. So I'm not sure how far this one goes. This one comes with, I believe, an avatar of Perfumer, if I'm not mistaken. And then you have the lore book, if you can see my cursor. So you have the lore book. It looks awesome. It looks like it would be a lot of fun to read through if you can read it. I really, really, really hope that Yostar EN picks it up and gets it translated into English and Japanese as well, I guess. At the very minimum, this would be a wonderful add-on to what we have available. So yeah, art books are available, plushies are available. Like I said, the Saga is available, the Chungus is available, and I believe the Ling is still available for order. They tend to come in and out of stock. I post notifications anytime I see beans back in stock. I usually check on the Tmall every single day for new merchandise, so new products show up here. And obviously I'm checking if there's, for ordering on Tmall, you have to generally when you pre-order, you pay a part of it, and then later on you'll be asked to pay the rest of the item. So I check here also to make sure that if my pre-orders have come in and I'm owing part of the item, which actually just happened last week. So these are things that I am checking out for. And on my Discord, I have a whole channel dedicated to this. I let people know for new merchandise, if people need links to any of this. So what I'll show you after is using Superbuy. You do need a link to the item. In general, you'll want a link to the item. And if you cannot create an account on Tmall, you will be, or Taobao, Tmall, you will be severely limited on how much you can browse and obtain these links. So I do help people with getting these links if you want to use Superbuy as well. So quick scroll through, you can see some of the pricing, some of the items that are available. See, they sell the Nendroids, they sell the full-scale models. This one actually just sold out, the Scotty Alter Deluxe version. sold out. I think there was some stock before, but now it's completely gone. And yeah, the art books are available, different plushies, the beans. I urge you, get yourself a set of beans. Saga, Dust in the End, you know, at the very minimum, the original trio of beans if you can. I highly recommend it. They are my favorite items that I own for Arknights. Definitely get those. So yeah, lots of cool stuff that is available. Product comes in and out. As I mentioned before, pre-orders are extremely important. A lot of items just, they never appear again. That's it. If you missed it, you missed it, and too bad, so sad. So some things like the art books get restocked. Some plushies get restocked. But things like the Saga Shikishi, all the Saga merchandise that I showed you today did not get restocked. So those are things to consider as well when you are doing these things and when you are looking to order, is if you don't get it now, it might be marked up significantly later. So definitely consider that. And how to order. So this is the sponsored segment of this video. How do you actually order? So let's say you have a let's say you have an item that you want to order. You have the URL. So I have an account. I'm able to search and see, here's a Saga bean. I actually have 2 Saga beans already. I don't know where my second one is. I never took it out of the packaging, and I couldn't find it today when I was looking for all my Arknights merchandise to show for this video. I couldn't find my second Saga bean. So let's say I want to order a new Saga bean. So I go over to Superbuy. I have an account already. I'm already logged in. I have some money loaded on already. And the way Superbuy works is that they are going to be the purchasing intermediary. If you wanted to purchase something yourself on Tmall, and the reason I know is because I did a lot of research on this in the last couple of months, because there was something that I wanted to purchase directly, and it was bound to a specific account, and I wouldn't have been able to go through Superbuy to do it. So I did look at trying to purchase myself. Let me tell you, it's not worth it. It is not worth the trouble. If you are able to go through Superbuy to do it, I recommend you do it. To purchase through Tmall, one, you have to make an account. And I'll have the links and the guide in the description of this video if you do want to try. A lot of people that I've helped this year on attempting to make an account on Tmall, as soon as their account was opened, it was immediately closed and banned. So to make a Tmall account, you have to put in your phone number. You have to do a phone number verification, and that's just to open the account. Then you, for the most part, sometimes they ship internationally, sometimes they don't. It's really tricky on what actually is allowed to be shipped internationally, and it's dependent on the merchant. And it will go to Tmall's kind of warehouse, and then you can have it packaged up and sent to you and wherever you are in the world. But otherwise, if you live in China, it's a lot easier, evidently. But if you do not live in China, it is not very obvious on how to order yourself directly. And yeah, so adding payment information, you have to provide a passport. So you have to open an account with Alipay, which again, they check phone number, they check that you have an account on Tmall, and then you have to contact customer support to open and provide them ID verification, and I believe passport is the only thing they accept, to confirm that you are a real person and looking to open an account with Alipay. And then certain credit cards are going to be available for use on Taobao, Tmall, whatever you want to call it, for purchasing items. I was not able to directly purchase any of the items, even on the Arknights store. I attempted to purchase items. It did not work. It was a pain. Doesn't matter how cheap it was. It did not let me put my credit card information in. It would just reject it every time, give me errors. I spent at least a couple of days trying to actually set up payment, because like I mentioned, it was an item that was bound to an account, so I could only purchase it through my own account. I could not submit it to Superbuy to purchase for me, and so that's why I went through many days. I asked people, I looked up guides. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Do not, I would say don't bother. If you do manage to get it working, fantastic, wonderful. You'll save a little bit of money, but it was such a headache trying to get it working, and I never got it working. I recommend to use Superbuy. This is the sponsored part of the stream. I will show you how to use Superbuy. get the URL of the item, paste it in here to Superbuy's homepage. Obviously, I think you'll have to be logged in already, and then Superbuy will open it. It'll give you some warnings about some items, like depending on the type of item, if they know they can professionally inspect it or not, if it's fragile, etc., etc. And then you can choose as long as it's in stock. I cannot choose Neon or Dusk. I can choose Saga though, and I can add it to cart or purchase it directly right now. At this time, I don't have anything else I want to purchase, so and I can see that I've last purchased or somebody purchased this in November, the Saga Bean. So yeah, you can also go and look. So if you have the URL, this is going to be the entire listing. What tends to happen is that for a lot of these stores on Tmall, Taobao, they will not have text in their description, their product details. It will be images. So unfortunately, this part won't be translated. They do try and translate everything else. I think it's just Google Translate that does it. But you do be careful. Either use your phone to Google Translate the image, something like that. Do try and understand the listing. I will help if you do have any questions on these things, to make sure you're buying what you think you're buying. And yeah, so there are images of the items. They are wonderful images. Usually they help show. And so yeah, so we're on Superbuy right now. You have the entire listing here, and you can go ahead and add it to cart. Buy now. I'm going to hit buy now, and here you go. So you're going to be presented with an order confirmation. So this is the item that I'm looking to purchase, the Saga Bean. It tells you sensitive items, fragile items, unable to professionally inspect. Every time I've ordered from the Arknights store, I think these 3 things have popped up. They do not inspect the item for you, but Superbuy does open it. So when they receive it from the Yostar, not the Yostar store, the Hypergriff store, Arknights store, they will open it, take pictures of it. You can inspect the pictures yourself. If the pictures aren't clear enough, you're not sure. I've never had a problem with the Hypergriff store. I've never had any complaints or anything. Every time the item has arrived at the warehouse with Superbuy, and it was good to go. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. I have had issues with other sellers on Tmall that were not Hypergriff or Arknights. I have purchased other items through Tmall, through Superbuy, and you sometimes do want to take into consideration some of the optional services that they do have, like detailed photo. So detailed photos, they'll take a high quality picture of the photos, and you can actually request what type of photos you want. So if I want, please take a photo of the tail, let's say, in this case. So you would say photo 1, please take a picture of the tail outside back. And so you could request multiple photos at the same time, and do all of this. The price is quite cheap. I think it was about $1 per photo, $1 or $2 per photo. So it's very inexpensive. Depending on the type of items that you're ordering on Tmall, if it's not from the Hypergriff store, I do recommend, depending on the seller, I do recommend asking for high quality photos. You can ask them to unpackage it, things like that. And some of the really neat parts of what Superbuy does is they do tend to check if there are restricted items in the package that are being received. And I'll talk a little bit about that later, but I'll just continue with the ordering process now, and I'll show you after. So it gives you a total price. You can go speedy response. So let's say speedy response. As long as somebody is working, they will reply, they'll see the order, you'll be at the top of the queue. This is not as important for, well, actually, it can be important with the Hypergriff store. So as I mentioned, if you miss the pre-order window for an item, then it tends to be that any extras, so either people may have canceled orders, people refunded, whatever it is, there will tend to be a little bit of overstock, and you generally want to order, if you're in business, you'll want to order more than the exact number. So if 100 people order a Saga Bean, you're not going to order exactly 100. A few of them may come in defective, and then you'll have to cancel orders. You'll tend to order a few more than what customers actually ordered for safety, for margins. In that sense, there tends to be extras when an item actually ships, and in that sense, they're probably going to be quite low stock. It's not going to be they'll probably sell out quickly. Like I mentioned, the Scotty Alter, the figure sold extremely quickly. I saw it 2 days ago. They put up a few pieces left of stock, and I'm checking now, it's gone. So the speedy response for $1, I think $1 Canadian, they will process your order at the top of the queue. So if you see an item that you missed the pre-order on, especially on the Hypergriff store, it may be worth it to buy this, to pay the extra $1 US Canadian. It's about that, and get that done, because you might miss out. And make sure you're at the top of the queue. Then you have things like priority stock in. Let's say you're waiting on a few items. I would not recommend this for Arknights items, because Arknights items you tend to be pre-ordering, and the pre-order process takes anywhere from 3 to 6 months, and you don't know, and you'll never know, because as many times as they've said, oh yeah, we'll deliver it this day, they've pushed it back. So don't bother with this. Priority stocking is good if you're waiting on one last item before you have everything batched from your warehouse and shipped out to you. This is good if you really just want to get that last item in once it ships. They'll put a priority on it when it comes into their warehouse to inspect it, check it, and have it included with the rest of your shipment that you're waiting on. So those are two of the extra services. I do tend to take speed of response relatively often, depending on the situation. Otherwise, if you're pre-ordering an item on the Arknights store, you don't need speed of response, at least. And then if you have any other requests, you put them here. I've read the disclaimer before. I've ordered a ton, so for me, I'm comfortable. I'm shipping to Canada. I submit. Here it'll ask you to pay. So as I mentioned, the beans are relatively cheap. Keep in mind, they have a handling fee. So they have a handling fee, and they have an amount in yuan, but they ask you to pay in USD. They do include a percentage into the fee. So this exchange rate that they're offering you is not exactly the intermediary exchange rate. There is a bit of a fee built in, so I just want people to be 100% aware of this part. But at least you know that you can pay $16.68 US and order a Saga Bean. So I could do that right now with PayPal, Visa, whatever. And then I can also use TransferWise. So this is a service that is now run by PayPal, I believe. And you can send directly to one of Superbuy's bank accounts, and it'll load up your wallet. So you do have to keep a wallet with Superbuy. I do tend to just leave some money there, so whenever the items arrive, I can just have something shipped. If you just want to go every time you just pay exact, you can do that as well. But I do tend to top up. I use Wise now, so starting this year I started using Wise. You do get a better exchange rate. They do talk about it when you do use Wise. And the reason for that is because PayPal charges a significant percentage. And I'm not going to go into a rant about PayPal, but I really don't like PayPal. I'll still use it here and there, but if you have Wise, I would recommend using Wise. Send the money using Wise, and you'll get a better conversion with Superbuy. Either way, you have an exact amount. I already have money in my balance, so I can press pay now, and it'll be paid. Otherwise, even if I don't pay now, there's going to be a pop-up, action needed, and I can just press pay now, have that completed. And otherwise, other actions that need to be discussed will show up here as well. So let's say there's usually what happens is Superbuy is really good with this, is that if you purchase an item, if you pre-order an item, you only have to pay a deposit. When the second payment comes due, it's going to pop up here. There's going to be a pop-up here. I actually usually get a pop-up. I get an email. I'm usually on top of it myself anyway, but it's very nice knowing that Superbuy is checking for these things, and they do advise you to make the second purchase. So that's quite nice as well. Things like that will show up here. If there's, let's say, they do estimate shipping, and this is another great thing about Superbuy. They give you an estimate for the shipping, so you pay the estimate. If it's less, if the shipping ends up being less than what they estimate, you actually get a refund for the difference. If it ends up being more, it'll show up here as action needed to pay the difference on the shipping before it leaves their warehouse. So if you do create an account with Superbuy, right here, action needed, great place to check if you, whenever you do log in. And yeah, I would definitely use that. I've purchased many items using Superbuy. I appreciate their service. I've definitely taken advantage of all of these things. And here's a good example. I purchased, these are stickers. I did not think these stickers would be that difficult to get, but I purchased stickers, and this was September. Yeah, that's September. This was September 6th, and the stickers got pushed back for shipping on Jan 11th, and it's still not even a guarantee. When they say this, it doesn't even mean it's a guarantee that it will ship on Jan 11th, so do keep that in mind. Like I said, pre-orders, don't bother with priority stocking because you're never even sure when it will show up. It'll just show up at the warehouse, and that's it. So take it how it is. It's happened way too many times, trust me. No, whenever you see this, especially for Hypergriff, don't trust it. It's not going to happen. The first date that they give you, that's not when it's going to ship. Trust me. I've never had them ship at the date they mention here. Anyway, this is just page 2 of what I've ordered through Superbuy. You can see there's 4 pages of orders. I've been ordering through Superbuy for years now. And I've always had good service. As I mentioned, I had an item that was damaged. They helped with partial reimbursement on that item. So that was the Saga placemat, as well as the basket that was damaged. I have an item that's sitting in my warehouse right now, and the unfortunate issue with this item is that, here it is. Actually, I don't know if I can show that on stream. So this is I forget what they call it, a weather ball or something. Anyway, there's some mix of chemicals inside that's supposed to do something based on what you show, or basically the weather that's outside. And it'll either harden, crystallize, it'll be liquid, things like that, depending on a bunch of factors. Superbuy did not realize that this was a restricted item, so like that it was liquid. I had chosen a shipping method for it, and then it actually came back. It got blocked at the border, went back to Superbuy, and they said, "We're very sorry. We did not realize there were restricted liquids inside, or restricted substances inside," and they refunded me the shipping cost. The customer service at Superbuy has been top-notch. I'm happy paying the fees that they're charging. It's been a wonderful service. Like I said, I highly recommend making an account with them. I'm going to have an affiliate link down below. I'll have a guide on how to order, the whole step-by-step process in text form, how to order items from Tmall, because this is the best source for Arknights merchandise. Yes, you do have the English and Japanese stores for Yostar, and there is different merchandise between them, so I do keep up I do keep track of all 3 stores, and I do talk about all that merchandise on my Discord. If you have any questions, if you're having trouble creating a Tmall account, anything like that, ask me on the Discord. I'm there just about 24/7. I'm almost always there. And I can help get you URLs for whatever it is that you want to purchase. I post the links to all the new items, things like that. And yeah. So if you're interested in Arknights merchandise, there it is. That's everything you need to know about that kind of stuff. And I hope this was interesting to you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the new year on stream. I want to say about 15 more items incoming for Arknights, so we're gonna take a look at that in the new year. We also have to wait for the Arknights 4th anniversary book. So yes, come by for that. We're gonna go through every single page of the 4th anniversary book when I do receive that, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Hope I converted somebody to buying beans. Beans are the magic beans. They make everything wonderful. So thanks for watching and have a good day.